Okay, so today I want to talk about something I think's a bit of a curiosity, really, and it's sort of going into what I talked about in my last video about Linux minimalism. Watch that video. Don't get burnt by my comments; they will sting, but it's a good video, I think. Just gets you thinking about what Linux minimalism really is. God, I hate using that word. Minimalism is horrific, even saying it. And anyway, yeah, maybe check that video out first before watching this. And this is going to be a bit more of a freestyling video. Now you might think, oh, all of his videos are freestyling, he doesn't have a clue what he's doing. You're right, but this one even more so, because although I've seen a YouTube video on this this distribution called Peropesis, I want to sort of cover it today, and I don't really know enough about it. I know a little bit about it, and you probably never heard of it, maybe you have, but it's an interesting one because it sort of piqued my interest when I first heard about it, and I don't want to necessarily speak negatively of it, but I feel I'm going to. However, it did pique my interest because it is responsible in a way for making me appreciate the TTY. And why is that? Well, because when I looked at it, it was making a point of being a distribution solely on the command line, therefore solely on the Linux terminal. As in, it doesn't load a graphical environment as far as I know, but we'll get into this. As you know, my intros go on forever and they're probably insufferable, but I just want to set some foundations why it piques my interest. It made me appreciate the TTY. I never used it, but when I saw the video I thought, why not? So that's what made me want to understand maybe desktop Linux from the TTY from the Linux terminal, not loading X11, not loading Wayland, whatever, and not just using that as a server distribution, but using it as a desktop distribution. Now obviously I know I load X11, Wayland, all this kind of stuff, whatever. Shall we just get into it, because this will never end otherwise. So I hate reading all these things, but I'm going to try and let's distill what this thing is. So it's called the personal operating system. What does that even mean? Isn't all operating systems kind of personal? I don't know. Anyway, so why do they make these names? Peropesis is a small-scale, minimalist, remember that, command line based Linux operating system. It's an incomplete system, so again this is relatively new, but it's constantly being improved. Also, so yeah, okay, we all know the free open source software stuff. So right, let's go into the about page. Let's actually get some more information. It had a release recently, looks like the 4th of the 11th. Okay. Right, what is it? Yeah, we've seen this. So it's the small-scale minimalist command line-based operating system. Incomplete, using GNU, GPL, and BSD licenses. Fine. The Peropesis project includes the operating system itself and this website that contains all the necessary information about the operating system. Now, I have heard, I might make a mention of this, that this is a learning tool primarily. I think I'm aware that in theory, it's only a live USB, a bit like is it Puppy Linux and Tiny Core OS. So it's a bit like that, but this is kind of more just for you to learn, and I've got my own opinions on that. I'm going to hold fire because I don't want to jump down their throat. So, okay, brief characteristics of the Peropesis system. So it's progress, early stages, so it's still in beta, fine. It's obviously using the Linux kernel, using Bash, fine. It's a multilingual system, whatever. OS type minimalist, interesting. OS type 2, live OS can be run from CD, okay. So in theory maybe you can install it. Compatibility, so it's 64-bit, fine. With both BIOS and UEFI. Size is 287 meg. Now, I'm not sure, but of course, if you're using like TinyCore and Puppy Linux or whatever, I think they have smaller, minimal distributions. Remember, this isn't. This is just is what we've understood from their summary is a command line OS. Okay, so it's a base Linux distribution based with Bash and some core utilities, right? And like your Arch Linux base install. That's kind of how I look at it. Now, it's interesting with the Arch Linux base install, that package, that 1 gig or whatever it is now package, of course, that live USB has all those packages, so you can set it up and run it as a live system, so you can test everything. It has all this stuff built in. Obviously, when you install it, you're only installing what you need, and therefore it's a base minimal package. So maybe this is good then if you just want literally a live USB just to test the command line. Maybe. Now, I'm not obviously testing this because I do not want to do Linux distribution videos. They will bore me. They'll probably bore you, but they probably get all the likes, whatever. I just want to understand what they're trying to do. Is this needed? Is anything needed? I don't know. So let's get into it a bit more. Utilization opportunities. Strange words. I think this is made in Lithuania. No disrespect to Lithuanians, but I don't know what this means. Utilization opportunities. Well, utilization is using it. Just interesting language, that's all I'm going to say. Sorry. Don't jump down my throat, Lithuanians. Don't jump down my throat, it's okay. Peropesis. It's a good way to get to know the command line and the programs most commonly used in the Linux operating system. So I'm going to take that link and we'll look at it in a minute. Yeah, I'm not using. You're probably wondering, why is he not using Vim-Vixen? Blah blah blah. Why is he not using? Because if I use Vim-Vixen, it will open it in a new tab and jump to that. I think, whatever. You know how my videos go. I'm rambling. Okay. Also, because it's a small system, it's a good opportunity to easily understand how Linux file systems are constructed. Okay. Can you not do this with Arch? I don't know. I'm just going to stop playing devil's advocate here. In the Peropesis distribution, GNU GCC compilers, okay, that's fine, whatever. Supports 2 types of networks. Okay, so it's got network connectivity, so you can get the internet, great. It's got command line based internet browser links, snail email client, and wget network downloader installed on the system. This tools allow you to connect online resources and use it. Okay. Right, I've never actually, I don't think I've used links, Links, you can see here. I've used links, which, does that matter? Should they have used links instead of links? Put in the comments below. You probably don't care. They do probably the same. snail email client. I don't really know snail email client. I use mut, which is a fantastic command line thing. Obviously, I'm going to show you all this stuff in future videos. If I'm talking garbage, you have no idea what I'm saying, just calm down. It will make sense in the future. But these are like command lines. So this isn't in the graphical environment. You cannot, in theory, load pictures. You can, but you can't load pictures in the Linux command line. You need a graphical environment. So this is presumably a very simple email client. Okay. wget network downloader. Okay. wget, if you don't know, is like there's a thing called curl. It's great actually. I don't tend to use it as much as I would like. Maybe it allows you to download web pages. That's in a simple way. It's got protocols. You can download files. You can download web pages. Whatever. It's a very complex tool. Curl particularly as well. We'll go into that maybe another time. So again, it's using the command line. Very good. I like it. I like the idea. Okay. Other practical example of use system might be to recover working option. That's not a bad idea. The only thing with recovery, I've got my own thing about this. I use time shift. Again, I'm going to show this in the future. Now, time shift's an interesting one because recovery, I'm not absolutely sure, but I think you need a graphical environment. So maybe recovery is, say you have a bad install of a software package, critical one, I don't know, like Grub or the Linux kernel, right? It breaks, and it's like, oh no, I need to boot into the disk, right? I need to boot in with another operating system on the USB key to get access to my disk, because my own operating system on the disk is corrupted, or Linux doesn't work, won't boot. So I can root into that, and I can download the Linux kernel again on that disk, and then restart the computer, and then that disk has a working Linux kernel. Okay, you probably know all this stuff, right? No, that's fair enough. And again, it's nice and light, so not bad. There you go. It explains using the true application. So, okay, right. We're going to take this. Finding a list of distribution. Finding the list of software distributed in the whatever. Sorry, I don't quite understand that. Anyway, basically the software it comes with, I'm guessing. We'll look at that in a minute. If you want to test this, you can download it. Then there's instructions. Maybe you want to do it, maybe you don't. I don't know. Whatever. They've got a little forum. That's nice. It's got a little forum. Wider instruction. Okay. We'll just have a little look at this. I don't know how long this video is going to go on for. I've got to be careful because I can't bear a too long video. Dependency. Okay. Each licensing. No, we're not going to look at that. We don't need to. We just know it's free and open source. Responsibility. Whatever. Collaboration. Okay. Okay, is there anything else up here? User manual. Bug reports. Okay, that's fine. Nice little simple minimalist website. Okay, so here we go. So this is it's sort of an interesting. I guess it's like the whole manual, right? And it's just taken this section. So basic programs. Okay, so yeah, locations of basic programs. Yeah, they're saying the usual stuff again. They're talking about PWD, so it's like giving you a little manual, okay? And in program CD, okay, change directory, yeah. So all your basic command line, bash, core utilities if you like, or whatever, or your basic stuff to use the command line. So it's nice and simple. You know, actually, a lot of this is what you're going to use 80% of the time, right? CD, LS, RM, CP, RMDIR, MKDIR, whatever, and then your package manager. So okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just nice little instructions, and then you probably got like they're telling you how to use the man pages. Okay, so this is clearly instructional. This is clearly educational. I'm actually warm into it. I was originally going into this a bit suspicious because I didn't know enough about it, but it just seemed a bit pointless. Okay, but I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to distill, if you like, they're trying to distill down a way to learn Linux in a a core level, the core utilities maybe. Now, could you do this with Arch? I mean, I think it's best just to get into Arch, break Arch, learn Arch, because there's more meat on those bones. And yes, I know I'm the Linux terminal of whatever profit or not, but there's still more you're going to need in the real world. Just get into the real world. Use the command line as much as possible in the real world as possible. Make what you use what you need, if that makes sense. The problem I do feel this is that you are probably limiting yourself. You're probably limiting yourself, and then it might just be, we'll just download Puppy Linux or Core, Tiny Core Linux. But you know, again, I'm just doing a little summary here. It's just, it piqued my interest, and I do owe it a bit of gratitude. So whatever. This is a rambling video, but I just thought, hey, it's Friday night. This is going to come out Saturday morning. I'm just doing a little thing. It just came to my head, so whatever. So they're giving an example here. You know, how can you see end curses information? Interesting why you want to see end curses, and how to use the man command. So that's good. So yeah, you know, all these instructions. They're giving you like how to get certain sections of the man pages. You download. What is bash? Okay, apropos bash. ManDB, whatever, file system. So what do they use as a file system? Next one. And they're just talking about the file system structure, okay? Layout of the file system. Okay, yes, so it's a nice little basic introduction. You know what, you could just probably just pair this with install bash and just look at this. I don't know, maybe not, maybe that's too convoluted, but this could be like a nice little starting point. Maybe spend like a week with this before you actually do something. This is the problem with this, you're not doing anything. It's all going to be theory. Are you going to run this as your operating system? I don't know. I don't think so. That's my worry. You're going to treat this exactly as it is, a bit of a chore. Let's be honest about it, because you're going to go, oh, well, I'm never using that as my actual operating system. So is this good for schools? But again, like I had in that previous, you've got to break Linux to learn Linux. Breaking theory is not learning. This is not, use nothing at stake, right? If you use this as like a little testing ground, yes, you might, oh, I remember the CD command, but you're not, nothing's at stake. It's like, have the right amount of stakes, yeah? Have Arch. Break Arch, but break it in the virtual machine, break it in with having backups, and therefore the right amount of stakes, because you need to learn this so that it works for you, because you're running this as your operating system, right? But you're not going to completely smash your operating system to smithereens and never get any work done, because you're going to break your virtual machine. You're going to break your operating system having a backup, right? And then you can just load your backup through Timeshift or whatever. This is like going to the sea, putting your toes in, and it's too cold, and you take your toes out and you're like, okay, I know what the sea is like now. No, you need to get in there. You need to get down and in the sea to experience the sea. You are not going to learn Linux like this. Okay, I've come down hard on it now, I'll be honest. You see this trap all the time, right? You see this trap all the time. Good intentions, but in reality, it's not going to matter. There's nothing at stake. If you're coming from Microsoft Windows, you're going to go into this and go straight back to Windows and go, oh yeah, I played around with Linux, whatever. The Linux community were mean to me. That's what's going to happen. It's good in principle, but I don't want to give these guys a hard time. I know I kind of had. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn, but you know what? The Arch Wiki will have everything. This is good, but is it needed? Okay, maybe there's, they're going through all this stuff. I don't want this to go on forever, right? And I'm not even necessarily going to make a big thing about what it ships with, oh, does it not have this software? The real problem here, because this is what I thought, maybe, I'm going to get into this, and I'm like, why are they using that program? But again, I'm not. If I remember rightly, the package manager is a bit suspicious. They only package so many things, not everything. So really, with Arch, you can have everything. This is going to be a small subset that they've packaged. So the package repositories, whatever they use, if you can download from a package repository, okay, I'm not necessarily. But does this matter now? This is the point. Does this matter? So you can save a persistent, I think. Saving the live image, who cares? Yeah, it's trying to solve a problem that maybe doesn't exist so much. Maybe it's good for recovery. Maybe have this as a recovery, but yes, you're going to learn, but you're not going to use it, so everything you learn is probably not going to matter. It's not going to matter. None of it's going to matter. So, sorry. I owe it a gratitude because it piqued my interest, showed me in theory that yes, you can have an operating system purely in theory, because I never used this, but it piqued my interest, so I owe it that. What I've done would not have been possible, I would say, without it. So I owe it just for piquing my interest, if that makes sense. So what should you do? This is what you should do. Get yourself this, okay? Follow the wiki, follow the install guide, use my videos, or don't use my videos if they're too scary, but get this installed. This is all you need. If you want to learn, use this, okay? Install this. This will tell you everything, and then just use the internet to find other things. Use YouTube to find information. This is really the only way, because the idea of this, education, learning is by doing, and you're only going to do something if you have to, or you need to, or you really want to. And I just don't see it with Peropesis. I can't even pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. So, well done, Peropesis, for existing. You've done what I needed you to pique my interest, to get me here. Maybe it does it for somebody else. Maybe it's taught somebody else. But it's a problem it's trying to solve that doesn't exist, because you got this. Sorry. I know, it's harsh. I don't use it, guys, if you want to, but I just thought I'd do this little random different type of video. Is this any different than what I'd normally do, which is a ramble on? Anyway, that's enough for now, because this has gone on way too long. But yeah, just do this in all your Linux stuff pretty much, apart from your server and your family and friends. Give them Linux Mint, whatever. Give Debian to your server. Right, that's it. Sad. It's kind of sad in a way. I don't want to dunk on it, but yeah, that's just how it is. That's how it is. You're not going to help yourself if you don't help yourself. Does that make sense? Help yourself, and you can only do it with this. That's just how I feel about it. There's no other point in any of it. All these distributions are just a waste of time. Impressive, technically impressive, well done, congratulations, all these distributions, but think about it. Do you really want to use that instead of this? Do you? Anyway, that's enough. So do the like, comment, subscribe, whatever. That's it. I'm out.